It's week 3 of the National Football League, and this one features Chigozie Okonkwo. He was historic a week ago, surpassing Shannon Sharpe's 2002 mark of 214 yards by a tight end. It's the Saints and the Panthers. All that and more coming up next.
Well, folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Well, a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net him 14 yards as they pick up the first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Well, this defense for the Saints, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Throw left side taken in by Pittman. So the completion good for 7 there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Young on 3rd down. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at the southpaw, who will be calling the plays under center.
We're not even a quarter way into the season. He's already off to a pretty nice start. NFC Offensive Player of the Week in last week's game.
Yeah, week 2, he was electric. Let's see what week 3 has in store. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. For the numbers for White a week ago, 21 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Opting to run again here with White. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
And the offensive saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Rashad White, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. So this has been a pretty strong start to the year for him on the ground, CD. It's just week 3. That's already 5 rushing touchdowns.
And you know he's got big grins on their faces besides the rest of the team. The strength and conditioning program, because he was awfully dedicated to what they put in front of him to get ready for this year. Got himself into terrific shape, and he's dominated here early on.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their 2nd drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Young now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a Panthers 1st down, 17 yards on the play. Once again, they run with Mixon. Able to avoid him at the 40. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 45 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Mixon up the middle. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And you look at the Saints defense. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White.
And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. They'll set up a throw. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Young.
And he's got his big tight end here. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Young off the bootleg.
He'll get this one to Pittman.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 27-yard line.
We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Again, it's Young. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. And Young's throw there incomplete.
Well, we keep stats on everything, don't we? This is one that you don't want to have. That's a second drop right here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say only in the first quarter. Certainly a ship that he wants to right quickly. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete. Fourth down after the Orleans defense holds serve.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, They had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They will run with White out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Down the left sideline. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for it. This is White. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Rashad White. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints are able to move back in front. Well, we know he can run the ball. There he shows he has the ability to do a little bit more.
That's what you call a complete player. A guy who can run it, catch it, probably can protect the passer when necessary, but his skills are best used when you get the ball in his hands.
And that's the thing. When you've got an athlete like that, you want to get the ball to him in multiple ways, right?
Without a doubt, because he often creates mismatches about who can cover him, whether he's coming out of the backfield or even lining up like a receiver.
Now for the point after. And that makes it 14-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was all finished off by a touchdown catch from Rashad White.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it. and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Second down, Young. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Young on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. Here's a give to Mixon. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So here are the Saints to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready?
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
Young will set to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Man, just couldn't hang on to the slant. Fourth down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Into the hands of Perry, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. But hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He completes it right side and right. And he's got this down to the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Running out of the gun with White.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. On play action, they'll throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He'll look to throw. And he is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Looking to throw. This is caught.
And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Bronco switch.
White is in. Touchdown, New Orleans. It finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL. A complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Now a pause for the injury, and that is, yes, Joe Mixon clearly in some discomfort following that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw, Young. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Young to throw it. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The 2nd down throw for Young. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. They'll throw again. Young. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Here is Young. He gets it to Burks again. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Carolina. Treylon Burks. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Panthers have cut it back within a score.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-17. That time a 6-play drive.
And it was Treylon Burks capping things off with a touchdown catch. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White.
Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy life, but you don't. Why don't you just play?
I'm not good enough to play the fantasy game. I enjoy watching you do it.
You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, that's a champ in my book.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw.
Here's White. They set up the screen.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Now back to throw.
Short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
7 yards there and a first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Again, he'll drop to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Completes it to Perry.
A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was was never in doubt. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Solid first half for the running back, Rachaad White. He had 2 touchdowns on the ground and added another on the receiving end for good measure. He was awesome. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
2nd and 7. Back to throw. Tries the left side and finds Olave. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. On the left side, a catch by White. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 30. A gain there of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 13-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys...
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. 2nd and long. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive, because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes, because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point forthcoming. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints Saints kick team booms it away. Taking it about the 1. Sheds off the tackle. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half.
They make their second half debut here. Things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
They go play action. Young. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
Isaiah Foskey brings him down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Young.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing, Young.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. Young working out of the gun.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. A pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
Here's the Panthers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Chris Olave heads back to the field as his guys get set for another possession.
Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that, because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
1st down, here's White. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And good running, going to get this down close to a 1st at the Saints 32. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, Makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A handoff to Mixon. Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Young. Touchdown, Panthers. Brandon Cooks scoring a touchdown against his former mates.
And the Panthers are back within a score. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And their lead cut in half by that touchdown a moment ago. They are up 7 as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's taken in by Watson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
The pass caught by Olave. And he is going to have the Saints 1st down, it would appear. And yes, the chain gang going to move the sticks. They take a risk on 4th and 4, but they get it by a full yard.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
On the move to his left.
Cockrell holds it in left side.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
They'll look to throw again.
Downfield, and he's got Olave.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So pass interference, the call there, always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
A try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field.
So remember, Charles, last time they were out here, they scored, but they just saw the opposition score, and they're trailing right now, so they're trying to keep pace here. They need a touchdown drive.
Well, if you're a fan of offense, you're loving this, but if you're a fan of defense, this is tough to watch, and it's also tough to keep that up when you just watch your opponent march down the field on a scoring drive to less than the double-digit snaps. You need a score here, not just to follow the momentum from your last drive, but put the onus back on your opponent. And that's what they're doing right now, swapping that onus back and forth.
2nd and 9.
Looking to throw, Young. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Now a first down throw for Young. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. From the shotgun, it's Young. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers.
Jonathan Mingo
from 19 yards away.
And the Panthers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Offense heading back out, and with them comes Rachaad White.
He's toppled the century mark already, receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open up.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get a big strike right there and hopefully tie this game up in the late going. But the coverage was there, and this winds up incomplete.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Saints 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He'll get this up to about the 44.
He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then at the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Going right side is White. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
90 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means a
touchdown! Chris Olave, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign.
And that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is up to 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive. So we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
1st and 10, Young. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
It's another 1st down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
Young will set to throw. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now Joe Mixon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters.
And it'll be intercepted. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The drive starts with a run by White. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Oh, timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll drop to throw. This is White on the screen. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the 1st down.
They'll go up the middle with White. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
Points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That one looks like he'll throw here.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And so close, he gets it to the run. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Jet sweep. Here's Olave. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Chris Olave. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Point after here coming up. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
That throw by Young incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A big play there for Carolina. 43 yards.
They'll throw again. Young.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
A second down throw for Young.
He's got Mingo.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. To throw, Young. He's got it for a Panther touchdown.
Jonathan Mingo
with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Saints are going to get to this one, so that should about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So So for New Orleans, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.